Is video gaming dead? Okay, so don't at me just yet. I mean, hear me out, then you can scold me. Well, the two people who watch this video anyway. Hi Mum. So, up top, leave a like. Anyways, so the principal question, has video gaming had its day? Now, don't get me wrong, I am a gamer. I love video games. My first real experience from video games was the original NES. That was my first console. I was roughly 6 years old, and I loved it from the get-go.
Now comes the ultimate challenge from Nintendo. The challenge of stopping World War III and becoming Top Gun. The challenge of Hogan's Alley, where survival depends on a steady hand. The challenge of fighting 7 contenders before taking on Tyson to become world champion. You can take up the challenge with over 50 adventures from Nintendo. Parents can ring 015464646 for information now. Nintendo, the world's #1 game system.
Super Mario Brothers, Bubble Bobble, Duck Hunt, Bart Simpson vs. the Martians. In fact, scrap that last one. I literally cried until my local retailer took that game back. I'm not joking, but that's a story for another video. Anyways, so I've been a gamer since day dot basically. And as such, in the time from the NES to the PS5, my latest console, the video gaming industry has become an industry of diminishing returns with each generation. Now let me elaborate. Let's first start with the obvious, the graphics. So the jump in graphics between generations was on an upward curve all the way until probably the PS3, the Xbox 60 generation. After that, it's been plateauing. Not to say that the graphics haven't been getting better with each generation, but more a case of each generational leap in graphics has been smaller than the last. And now we're already at a point where you have to ask yourself the question, is the cost of upgrading your console worth the minimal improvement in graphics and performance that you gain? I had both the PS4, the original, and the PS4 Pro. And honestly, if someone put me on the spot, I could not point out the difference between Warzone on the PS4 Pro and Warzone on the PS5. Now, I know Warzone isn't a dedicated PS5 game, but it's still a 4K game, and honestly, I see no real discernible difference or benefit in running it on the PS5. And to top it off, the cost of new gen consoles has never been higher, and the return from that upgrade has never been more marginal. With previous generations of consoles, they was more adventurous, especially with the peripherals and the accessories that were out there. Some were good, some were bad, but at least they tried something. The NES, for example, that had the light gun, the Rob Robot, and the wild and amazingly shit Power Glove. Now, to be fair, Nintendo and its partners went all in on the accessories for the NES. But even the next gen, let's take a look at the offerings from the Sega Mega Drive. You had the Sega CD, the 32X, then the SNES that had the scope and the Super Mouse. Not that Super Mouse, this Super Mouse. Now granted, a mouse isn't the most exciting of accessories, and today you can just plug in any mouse into your console and use it as a normal mouse. But it's the thinking behind the creation of a mouse for the SNES. Back in the day, you couldn't just plug in any old mouse into a SNES, so they had to create a custom accessory. But in line with the law of diminishing returns, each generation of console seems to be getting less and less accessories. You'd think with the advancement of technology would come more advanced and more ambitious add-ons. Maybe it's because the complicated computing architecture of modern day consoles, or the fact that someone like D-Brand can't even make a cosmetic add-on without getting their asses sued. It was also just announced that Sony will be introducing voice command capability for the PS5. And that's great. But this was an out-of-the-box feature for the PS4 and the Xbox One years ago. So why is it only being introduced to PS5 now, over a year into its life cycle? The refinement of games also seem to have gone completely out the window in recent times, with huge bugs and problems with AAA titles such as Cyberpunk, Battlefield, Warzone. The sort of problems that have been popping up should never have made it to market. These are not one-off incidents that are, they are ongoing issues that are yet to be rectified. You don't see Avengers Endgame being released in cinemas with Josh Brolin walking around in his mocap suit and green screens everywhere, and the directors just being like, oh yeah, it's fine, just watch this for now and we'll send you an updated version in a few weeks or months with all the CG done. Not only would they be fired and never work in Hollywood again, but there would be huge universal outrage with refunds at the box office and no one would pay to see it. So why is it okay in gaming? It does seem to be a case of the studios money grabbing, forcing games out that aren't ready, and breeding a culture of quantity over quality, and it all just leans into the theory of the death of video gaming. Me personally, I don't want to see a new Call of Duty every year with marginal differences and huge amounts of bugs, or a new FIFA every year with the same engine, just updated squads and kits. I want new, I want interesting, I want innovating features that makes the new purchase worth it, that makes me want to part with my money. If they truly want the video game console to be a staple of the home and take centre stage in the home, then I should be able to control my Roomba from it. I should be able to order Uber Eats in between Caldera lobbies from it. The PS5 doesn't even currently have a dedicated web browser. Windows 95 had this pre-installed. What the fuck? In my opinion, Steam are the only ones doing anything remotely exciting in gaming at the present moment. Obviously, that's with the Steam Deck. Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft do better. We, the community and the consumer, deserve better. I want to see the return of light gun gaming. With 30 years of advancement in technology, I want to see what that looks like today in today's modern society. I want a 2022 version of the Power Glove. I'm just saying. So is video gaming dead? I mean, not quite. Not quite yet. But usually after a plateau comes a downfall. And if the industry doesn't step up to the task, it soon will be.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.